All right, call the meeting to order. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen.
Eisenhower never said amen.
Do I
He
look
just
like
said under
Eisenhower?
God.
Do I look like Eisenhower?
I was there when he
A
did
little
it.
bit. That's the problem.
You only have three checks today. Bill Faria, 738, Richard Murphy, 5593, and Kristen Patch, 48194, for a total of 1276.67.
That was easy.
One request on that Mr. Faria cash his check on a timely basis for a change.
I will.
Can you just get him to do direct deposit to Liz's account? How about to my
Oh,
account?
no, not the Liz's account.
How about to the health officer, the health officer's account? He can deposit it in there. All right, you know where Liz wants it. She wants you to send it to the school. Direct deposit to them.
Yeah, right.
She'd be very excited about that,
I'm sure.
not in a positive way.
You might have the other eye done, is that what you're telling me? All right, tell me when you guys are ready.
Go.
Go.
LNR Cherry is 1,754.17. Andy Antromovich is 821.15. Suan, how do I say it? It's Sueaa, Suan? Oh, 623.36. Andrea Bickham, I've always thought it was Suzanne, and then I looked at it. Don't forget, I don't have my glasses tonight. Andrew Bickham, 60609. Joseph Bird, 92255. Caden Blazik Ahern is 54116. Gloria Bendia Becerra, 28141. Adnar Charnar is 18519. Kenneth Christensen, 73880. Karen Clements, 1065.17. Aaron Coker is $80.32. Jeffrey Collins is $684.34. Katie Coppola, $73.88. Keith Culligan, $428.85. Alyssa Sanuski is $258.35. Michael Dam is $744.39. Kiki Donis Wall is $211.25. Jonathan Else is $619.70. Robert Gagnon is $929.34. Joyce Gallant is $166.23. Andrew Gray is $454.28. Mary Lyons Hall is $101.58. Kip Kaiser $777.92. Joyce Kegel is $520.66. Kevin Nealand is $747.45. Heather Lindsay is $611.87. Robert Montegary, myself, $738.80. Samuel Matos is $884.26. Robert McCon is $689.75. Sarah Parkhurst is $549.30. Jeremy Potter is $690.09. Brian Raines is $604.43. Wayne Robinson is $921.73. Christopher Spitaleri is $891.49. Katrina Tennant is $340.33. Phyllis Thompson is $485.33. Joshua Turner is $327.75. Olivia Wall is $81.42. Daniel Wicks is $2,205.16. Janice Weirs is $769.87. Jeremy Worcester is $468.07. Daphne Wass is $686.80. Jared Wright Ward is $493.72.
For a total of $26,777.76.
For a grand total of $28,054.43.
And that was really
Petey
hard
had-
without glasses.
54.25 hours overtime. Fire department had 2.5.
I wonder if they'll work.
You want me to read?
No, let me see if I can do it with Ken's. Whoa, no, dude.
You want me to read?
No, I'll do it again.
I'd lend you mine, but I can't see with them.
Okay.
I just need like little
We give
ones.
up the check. It's about.
I just need my arms to be longer. Maybe, do you guys okay if I stand?
Go right ahead.
I can stand and do it?
You just need like
That's
just one.
so much better. Yeah, I need that like one, yeah, under one.
Eventually your arms get too short.
AT&T Mobility, 90604, Block 5 Technologies, 2,367. Chappell Tractors, 3468. Christopher Spitaleri, 13824. Citizens Bank is $2,337.30. East Coast Emergency Outfitters is $296.95. E&J Auto Parts is $44.34. Eversource is $1,124.80. Failsafe Testing is $3,445.75. Hartman Oil and Propane is $637.53.
Just plus one.
Thank you. Oh, much better. Thank you.
They're stylish.
Look at that, thank you. Health Trust Inc., $7.69. International Code Council, $145. JP Pest Services, $185. Kimball Midwest is $486.96. Leaf is $261. Samuel Matos is $173.88. McFarland Ford is $1,078.26. Medical Business Services, $809.35. Morgan's Towing and Repairs, $125. Nietzsche's Automotive Services, $183.66. All right, what did we do?
Oh, geez.
We never go there anymore.
It was a highway truck.
Yeah, it was a highway truck.
Ryan Rains, $65. Seacoast Business Machines, $390. Security Team, $370. Title Communications is $245. Joshua Turner's $39.52. Ultra Automotive Repair is $250.34. UniFirst Corporation is $102.24. Valak is $246.45. WB Mason is $23.55. Daphne Was is $36.
For a total of
So much better.
$16,556.53.
You saved my life, see?
And there was no rep checks this week?
Thank you.
Well, Karen, do I have to submit a thing for the ladies auxiliary? Daphne always put it on her list.
She did put it on, I forgot.
What's that?
She did put it on, I forgot.
Oh, okay.
So we process, them through payroll, the rest of the, so I gotta make a photocopy.
That, you know what? It's not. Next week is fine.
We're in good shape, no school thing, no school check.
We'll get to next week, Billy.
We're in good shape this week, no school checks. Good.
Yeah, pretty quiet activity yet again. It's been slow for a while now in terms of receipts coming in. And as a result, I still have to move money. But $3,600,000 isn't bad this time of year.
No, it's good. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Joe.
November, December, $1 million in the whack, we had money left over.
Maybe.
Building permits?
Sure.
3 Ponds LLC, 5 James Circle for a new dwelling. Christian Lafreniere, 43 Spruce Ridge Drive, an in-ground pool. Jeff Fox, 5 3 Ponds Drive for a generator. Dave Ullman, 222 South Road, an electrical permit for a new hot tub. Paul Mahoney, 26 LaBrue Street, an electrical permit for a new generator. Donovan, 18 Mohawk Lane, an electrical permit for an in-ground pool. This is the minor building permit for the in-ground pool, same address. 3 Ponds LLC, 3 James Circle for a new dwelling.
You're slipping away from you today.
Yes. strong at 3 points.
I make a motion for the minutes? While we're all doing this.
Second.
Any discussion on last week's minutes? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Motion for the non-public?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Chief? Do you need time? Cause I can,
No, I was, the two officers are gonna be here at 6:30.
We can,
Want to do your MOU
We can do, yeah,
and Gingras first then?
yeah, absolutely. Okay, so before you, I have an MOU from New Hampshire State Police. We don't have one with them right now, so I would like to have one in effect here and have it signed by the board. And once upon your signing, it'll go up to the colonel. And this way, we have it, an official MOU for mutual aid.
Okay. I'll make the motion.
second.
any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
We've never had one before? That's weird, isn't it?
We had one with Epping and
Yeah, we have one with Epping, we have one with Kingston,
I would have
Rockland
thought
County
we would
Sheriff.
have one
Exeter?
with
Yeah.
we have one with Exeter and Fremont.
I think the,
Fremont, yes,
is the countywide mutual aid agreement still in effect?
yes. And the next issue is the driveway. Did we wanna discuss that?
Sure. I forgot a building permit. So, I sent the board a copy of the email that Mr. Gingras sent me.
Yeah, I did talk to Chief Wallace today, and he was not aware of the complaint. I did have a conversation with Lieutenant Hennessy from State Police, as he received an email from Mr. Gingras. So he has offered to provide State Police right around those closing time, not as a detail, but as a courtesy to us to have a better, bigger presence, if you will. And I think, we've got another month, 5 weeks to go for the driveway. We might need to assess putting another detail out there, specifically during closing time.
Definitely be worthwhile to hear your thoughts when we start up next season,
Agreed,
especially for import wars and stuff like that.
agreed.
Has there been a major change in the operation over there, or?
No, I just think anything left unchecked, department's busy, they don't have time to sit at the dragway all day.
Yeah,
Kids will be kids and,
Yeah, and on that note, I wanna make it known that we have sent patrol units up there, not on detail, to assist on when the park is leaving or closing.
Okay.
So it's, if we're available, we send them up there and they're able to assist with the traffic.
what
I
time
know-
does the detail end on Wednesdays and Fridays?
10 o'clock.
So I think that's the other issue, is it's after that he's hearing it. So,
And I know they responded to a call that I had reached out to them, cause there was kids that were standing on the bridge.
Right,
So they've had some activity over in that area, so.
so I'll let Mr. Gingras know that. And he also had, I think he has a lot of issues with the dragway, so I'll forward some of it to the planning board to include the aircraft flying in the parking lot and music in the parking lot. I don't know what their planning board is good for.
And I noticed we had, and I haven't seen it, I usually see it over at the beach. I saw the planes flying over with the banners behind them. Is that one of the things he's complaining
No,
about? or
they run a model airplane club over there,
Oh, okay.
so the,
It's been there for a long time.
yeah, I guess when I was working there, they would fly them out back by where they're doing the
Motocross?
MX now. But Mr. Ginger says they fly in the parking lot every once in a while, so. But that's a planning board issue and I'll forward it to Andrea. He also had a question about his address. Even when I worked for the department, I thought that little road should actually have a road name.
There's no,
No, his address is Route 27, and he has two different addresses. The town has one listed and the post office has another.
Yeah.
Both on the opposite end of the spectrum.
see, he's the only house on that, right?
There's two lots. There's 22 and 23 and 20.
Well, the post office would trump the town. as far as
Right,
that-
but we need, his question was, he's called 911 a couple times and actually had to walk to the end of the
Got it.
roadway. And I guess that's a town plowed roadway, so maybe
We can get-
talk to Wayne and see, I mean, for a response, that should actually have a name. If the town's maintaining that and that's not his driveway,
Yeah,
that should have a name.
so there's 3 houses on there, or just? 2
There's 3 lots, I don't know how many houses are up there. Do
There's
you?
just one house, maybe two.
I think there's two.
Is there 2 houses on that road?
I don't know.
I would say if it
I
was
don't
only
remember.
his,
I
I'd
remember there
say,
was always a problem.
let's make him happy and call it Gingras
They-
Lane.
they- they were- there was-
He
there was-
doesn't really want the name to change, but I think that's,
Okay,
At
There
least
was
have
always a
consistency
problem
with
with
especially if
that.
we're maintaining that, because that's not Route 27, and if it is, we shouldn't be maintaining it,
right, cause it's the,
Mhm.
State road,
state road, so. If you can just talk to Wayne, yeah, you can have that back. I just printed that out from,
with the picture.
the
top
tax
box.
map.
And the last item I have for public is a proposal submitted by Officer Josh Turner for a Brentwood Firearms Range proposal. Have you received that?
We all have a copy of it?
Yep.
And I think it's a great idea, where it's town-owned property, it wouldn't cost hardly anything to do. We could have Wayne assist us with the build of it, with the berms. And we are in need of a range for sure. I mean, he's laid out in his proposal, you know, we're limited with the hours that we can shoot at SIG, and we're limited with the hours that we can shoot over in Fremont, and we have to qualify one time a year with low light conditions, so. Fremont's been very accommodating, and SIG has been very accommodating, but it would be very beneficial for the department to have its own range. I think we'd be able to increase the opportunities to practice more, which is definitely a need.
And behind the highway shed is where you were looking?
Yeah, he actually lists the highway shed and then the demerit property, which I
Okay.
know is town-owned as well.
Because way back when, I know they started looking at the merit property, and then it kind of fell by the wayside.
Yeah, I think you've got competing interests there, there's trails there, I think there's like an archery range.
Yes.
the rec, yeah, right on the other side is the archery rec.
So that, I think logistically,
The
it
highway
might be a
shed
little bit
would
more
probably be a
difficult.
better choice.
I would agree with that.
We would have more control there, and,
Probably have a sound deadener, cause you got the salt and the sand shed on the, that would be in front of it.
well, there's not a whole lot of people there, so you'd probably have to limit, and you'd control it, so.
A lot of wetlands back there, though.
There's enough room back there to make.
There is, okay.
Yeah, there is.
And then any projectiles will go into the sand berm, so it wouldn't affect the.
Right.
Yeah,
What do you think the cost would be?
not much.
Town labor and then
Yeah,
sand?
labor and whatever materials to build
About-
berms. And I don't know, that's definitely out of my wheelhouse. I don't know, I'd have to ask Wayne that.
You might be able to get some of the stuff donated too, just by asking some of the, you know, like
Right.
Chris Beebe and people that have access to the sand, see how much it would cost.
I think it'd be relatively low. I think it would just really be the material cost, and Wayne would have a better idea on that.
Probably come up with a proposal. I would support a range, but
Yeah. I'd be
it's all a
fine.
matter of, cost and
Would you like a
upkeep.
motion?
and- I think we're at the primary stage where we don't need a motion yet, but
Cause we would need to know how much
We-
it cost and
we
stuff.
want, I would want some cost analysis. But I think we could pull the board if we have the support to move forward rather than
Yeah.
moving forward and then shooting it down, so. You're in favor,
Yeah.
Ken?
Sure.
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay.
heck, I'd even show over there just like I did last time. Maybe this time I won't be afraid to get out showing
The
it.
only question I have is, can I use it too? No, just kidding, I'm just,
He only has one eye now.
no, that's not, I don't believe that either.
Shoots a little to the left.
That's all I have for public.
Okay.
Are the guys here yet?
Yeah, let me just step out and give them a call.
Okay, well, you said 6:30, it's still
Yeah.
10 minutes away, so we'll wait, we can move on.
We can go.
We got lots of stuff.
We have
to do,
other
so.
stuff to do, so.
Here, oh,
Mr. Myers, or Meyer,
Is he the one that just went out with
He
that?
went out.
we can move on and come back.
oh, he's not here? I thought-
He stepped out for a minute.
Probably had to go.
Let's go to the notes.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Officially adopt recreation's fall sport precautions.
You had reviewed, the rec commission had proposed COVID-19 precautions, and you had reviewed them a couple of weeks back. I just need a formal motion to adopt them so that we can
I'll make a
preserve
motion.
all of our liability.
A second.
Have a motion and a second, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Anybody opposed?
You need a motion for the symptoms and notifications?
Well, I guess with that, I just wanted to know if we have employees or employees' children that become symptomatic, how do you want the notifications to go? I mean, we wanna protect their privacy and their names as much as possible, so as few people that know, the better.
Yes.
I think it all should go to you, and then you can disseminate to us in non-public.
But do all 5 of you wanna know, does just one of you
I
wanna
think the way
know,
you
or-
did it
Was
I-
fine?
is fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think we need to,
We don't even really need to know who it is. I mean,
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I knew just
Well, you would know anyway.
because, so. And then I'll talk about that. I'm assuming we're gonna do non-public maybe, because I'll have to talk about that a little bit today.
I have an intent to cut for the Burt property,
Make a motion?
South Road.
Second.
any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Um,
Do you want to address the, do you want to require everyone to wear a mask at the department head meeting?
Let's
or-
finish that.
All right.
These-
All right, let's keep going.
Let's control yourself, Mr. Chairman.
No more 2 bottles of Stoke.
That's so
okay.
good.
It is, it's really good, isn't it? Cold brew.
Yes.
So I have no problem with providing a Zoom option for the department head meeting next week. And mask wearing as,
I have one department that has requested that if they be present, that everybody wear a mask.
The library had talked with me the other day about that too.
I don't think I will force the general public to wear a mask.
Okay.
We can recommend it though.
We can recommend it, but we will provide a Zoom option if
People want to choose that.
they want to choose that.
Cool.
That is my opinion.
I would agree with that.
Okay.
Ken?
Yes.
So
Bill?
we're gonna just recommend it.
Recommended mask use,
Yep.
and we'll provide a Zoom option or WebEx or whoever we wanna use. Phyllis?
I agree.
I'm good with it.
Okay. Mr. Meyer?
Well, thank you for,
Grab your chair.
okay. There you go. I don't know if you, a lot of you know who I am. My God. I told you not to argue with your wife.
She's right behind you, so be careful, man. Your back's to her right now. You wanna turn that chair, or? You got two good eyes right now, yeah.
Well, I live on 83 Lake Road, and I have a horse farm there, and I've been here for 24 years. Across the street from me is the Day's residence, and I was talking to Mr. Ellis a minute ago, because he rides his bike back and forth and walks down the road, and my neighbor is raising fighting cocks over there. And I don't know if Bill would say something here. He helped me out. He tried to do everything that he could do for me, and so did the chief. And, but Bill was back there, and he did a lot for me.
I will say, I investigated the situation there, because of the way the property is zoned as agricultural. He's certainly able to keep animals there. He claimed to me that they were showbirds. I brought the state vet down to confirm my suspicions and yours that they were fighting birds. And in fact, they are fighting birds based on the alterations of their spurs. The fact that he had quick access to medical antiseptic and medical septic to stop the bleeding of the birds. I was able to bring the state vet down to examine all of his birds, because that was the only thing I had to put a hook onto in terms of what we could do to control that situation. All his birds were in fact inspected. He was given a certificate to keep the birds, they're disease-free, so there's really no other action we could take. He imported the birds from Kentucky, which is why I was able to get the state vet to come down and to look at them in a previous job that I had. But other than that, unless we can catch him in the act of doing illegal things either in New Hampshire or out of state, my hands were tied.
Yes.
So that's all I could do.
Well, and that is, so I guess it's either urban myth, or everybody knows in this town that's been here that he's been raising birds fighting cocks since he was 13 years old. And I know personally that he is raising fighting cocks because he showed me the spurs. And when he lived down the street at 63 Lake Road, now there he had a thing where his
So-
piece of property.
Mr. Meyer, can I stop you for one
Yes,
second?
go ahead.
Just remember, you're in a public forum, recorded on TV, that you've used the gentleman's name, so if you're accusing him of something that's not illegal, you could be subject to libel. So I just want you to know what you're getting yourself into before you
Yes.
continue walking down this road.
Okay, well, I just wanna say now, for him, is, that if these birds, he had them down the street, and they were not there when I moved in. And that's my problem now. If I moved next to New England Dragway or Sig Arms or something else, or to a hog farm, I would have no problem with that. I would be in the wrong because I moved there. The birds were not there when I moved in. And I have a recording of it. They are a big nuisance. And one of the things that bothers me much as far as the nuisance, and it drives my wife's nuts, and they don't crow at dawn, and they crow 24 hours a day. These are birds, and Bill can probably tell you this, these are birds that are probably in 3x3x3 cages?
Yep.
And they're all roosters. So when one rooster gets upset, they all get upset and they start crowing. Okay, so this not only is an irritation to me, my clients mention it and complain about it. They don't know, I just talked, Mr. Ellis was saying to me, he says, I don't know why you haven't been in there sooner, but the thing was Charlie Day lived down there, and I like Charlie, and as he's dead now, but as courtesy to him, so that he wouldn't get in trouble, I've never said anything, Ray's brought anything out. And, but I have contacted the chief, she's done everything she can for me. Mr. Ferrer has done everything he can for me, and I've been down there and talked to him, and after his father died, one of the other brothers moved in down there for a while. And his brother I know and I like, I get along with all the brothers. Daryl Dave was down there. And yes, I'll stay this, right now, I know I'm on television. When I finally, what we left at was, is he said, what are you gonna do about it? All right, I guess this is my only recourse.
Well, I did see a black bear crossing the road the other day. So
Well.
that
not
might
for
take care of the
him,
problem there
I've
too.
I've got my own personal hawk that I fed through the winter and he flies around there. I don't owls. One of my, students says I should take, the sound of a hawk or falcon screeching. He says that'll really drive those birds nuts, but I do not want trouble. But it is, not only it's driving me crazy, my wife crazy, it's devaluing the price of my property. If I got hurt or something and we needed to sell that, anybody coming in there they don't wanna live next to this.
And that's zoned residential agricultural?
Yes, yeah.
So it's probably,
So the only thing we can do is, we can't even do that because we don't have a decibel meter, is ask Kip to see if there's a violation of the noise ordinance. Cause there's a zoning ordinance for noise.
and what time's that usually? Isn't there a time?
Seven, I
Yeah.
think it's 7 in the morning, isn't it?
7 in the morning and 11 o'clock at night.
So if they're loud between the hours
So
of 11 and
Daytime
7?
hours shall be between 7 AM and 8 PM, nighttime hours shall be 8 PM to 7 AM. So there's in the town zoning ordinances are the decibel numbers for that time frame.
What is the decibel of a rooster?
Well, it all depends on where you
Well,
are.
it depends, and it also depends on
How many
when they're
they
going
They
or
measured
not
at the
going.
property line.
So after 8 o'clock, I thought it was 11.
Would you like to hear them?
No, we all know what a rooster sounds like.
Yeah.
Our problem is trying to figure out how to help you
Address it.
because you are in a residential agricultural zone.
That's no
So-
problem.
So even if they came in after you, that property was still zoned as agricultural, so you could expect a agricultural type operation to be across the street from when you moved in.
Well, that's interesting, it's 75, because they said the max decibel level is 90, so, for a rooster.
Well, I have.
But that's at the rooster.
That's at the rooster, right? So you don't know what it would be from, like, the property line?
My bedroom window is, Kim and I tried to figure it out, and by looking at it and the size of our arena, he's got these birds 200 feet from my bedroom window.
Well, the noise would actually be at the property line, not at your house. So
Okay, well, that's.
whatever noise is carrying over into your property.
Oh, here it is, nighttime is 65,
Well,
50 for residential.
I thought about something, and because I had some suggestions from somebody else, is, I'm definitely not, I'm an agriculture person. I run 5 to 10 cattle there. I have 7 horses on my place. And, but the thing is, people can raise chickens and have their eggs. That's no way to have a rooster. I wouldn't care if you had brooders down there. You know, if you had 60, 80 brooders down there to raise for meat, they just cackle. Is there a possibility that if I go out and get a petition signed and add something to change the ordinance, that you could only have, say, 1 rooster for 2 acres?
That would be a question for the planning board, but I believe that a ordinance enacted after you're already there would be you would be grandfathered, so it would be anybody else after you
Right?
or after that property. So the only thing we can really look at right now, if the state vet said that they're legal birds,
No, the state vet, what I brought the state vet in to do was to inspect the birds for disease because they came across state lines and he had no certificates. When I was the animal control officer, that was the only avenue that I had to explore what was going on with those birds in the back. And in the course of doing the inspection of the birds, I asked the state vet to confirm my suspicions. That's why I can tell you that they were altered.
And is it
Has he
animal
ever-
cruelty to
have you ever
alter 'em?
Have you ever
Um,
seen him have a fighting
That
thing?
would be.
No,
that
he
would
does,
be-
he's very smart.
that would
He's
be
very
difficult.
smart.
Yeah, it's not,
He knows what he's
he's only
doing.
cut the spur, one spur in the back, which is where they attach the,
The razor blade.
yeah.
So I say we give it to Kip for now, and then
Yeah, do we have access? Maybe Kip can find out if we have access to a
you
decibel, or
probably
maybe
have
the
to
police
borrow
department?
one from somebody, cause a good decibel meter is not something we wanna probably purchase
Yeah,
just for this
yeah.
one occasion.
Do you know if there's police departments, chief, that have them? No idea, okay. I just don't know who would have one of those.
And state police might have them, like in the commercial division, Troop G.
Or you can check with SPCA.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe the SPCA too.
or anybody that would monitor noise, like DES or somebody like that.
I would also suggest we could look into whether the, state vet's office has one. 'Cause they might. They're very knowledgeable about this particular situation.
So. We'll see what we can do for you.
Alright.
Unfortunately,
Because
that's
I
where
have
we're
only
at.
one, I have only one alternative after this. And that's go to PETA and go in and, go to the Humane Society. And I really wish not to do that, because it's not gonna make the town of Brentwood look very good. And I don't want to do anything.
Well, so far, we haven't found anything illegal there, so if it's been investigated by animal control and the police department, they haven't found anything illegal happening.
Okay? So, understand. Well, thank you very much for your time, and
Hopefully we
Mr. Meyer?
can,
That's your phone number, right?
642-51418.
Sorry we couldn't be more helpful.
Well, I understand that you've done a fine service to me, and I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Are they here?
Bob, did you have anything, or were you just here to,
Thanks for asking me, yes. I wanted to talk about the Mill Road Bridge, if I could.
sure, come on up and have a seat.
I'm not on the agenda, so I know that, thank you. So, if I didn't make it clear last time, the big aspect of right now, the reason I'm here tonight is in hopes that we can at least advertise it and get some bids this fall for fall construction that might save the town some money. So, right now, there's two things that we need to do. One is, when I was here last week, I didn't have the alteration of terrain permit with me, and that needs to be signed by the town. So if I could make arrangements to print that out and meet with you, Andy, or leave it somewhere for you to sign, that would be,
I don't have to be to work till 3 tomorrow, so if you have it here by 2 o'clock, I can stop here on my way to work.
all right, I'll have it here by 2 o'clock tomorrow, that's awesome. The second thing is that,
So, first of all, let me take a motion to
I'll
allow
make a
me to
motion.
sign that.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay.
thank you. The second thing is that, we're, working with Karen to finish up our, the contract for the construction. And it was our impression that the town was going to prepare the contract. And, apparently it was the town, either the town cannot do that, or it was their impression that we were gonna prepare the contract. In any event, that is not part of our scope of work, and it will take us about $3,500 to prepare the contract. So, I sat here and I said that it wouldn't be more than $54,000 when I was awarded this thing. In truth, that was for the scope of work that was written in my proposal. I don't know if it was just an oversight, if I didn't make it clear, it doesn't really matter to me. I will honor that $54,000, if need be, but I'm here to ask you if the town could approve another $3,500 for us to prepare the contract, or if the town can prepare the contract themselves without our design.
Did you look to see what it cost legal to do it?
No, so every other time that we've used an engineering firm, the engineering firm has prepared the contract, so I was under the assumption that that was part of the contract. Jim, I've been going back and forth with Jim on this for the last week or so, and he's never mentioned that it was gonna be an additional cost to do
Well,
that. So
he's
I
been-
have a template that I can work with Primex to create. I was under the assumption that that was part of the scope of the project. If it's not, then,
It's not, but as I
I mean,
said,
there's no reason to absorb that much money.
Well, could you use the template and he approve it, and it wouldn't cost us any money? I mean, I don't know.
there's really no need for us to approve it. If the town has a contract, then it's a simple matter of attaching the design and just making sure that it says the right things, like it has the right project name on it and that kind of stuff, I believe. And most of the towns we work with have their own contracts, so we don't usually include it in the proposal. But we do have, and we have prepared contracts for other projects in other towns, many, so we can do it. And I just want you to know, it will be about $3,500 of effort for us to do it. And as I said it would be $54,000, so at the time, nobody understood that it wasn't included in our scope. I'll still honor it, but if the town can do it, great, and if they can,
Does-
So could one of those prior contracts that you've written for another town kind of include in Karen's email, or maybe a town that's prepared one, let us know when we can get their copy of something and we can just,
Get Primex to review it and approve it?
Yeah.
Is it, well, no, cause
no,
confidentiality.
that's not normally how it's done. It's not just the effort, it's the exposure that we have for preparing.
no, I mean, most things are done off of templates.
Yep.
Police
that's-
SOPs.
That's true in engineering too. but
Engineering, I'm just saying, can you forward a name to Karen of a town that has prepared their own, cause they probably have the template, and then she can
Run it through
call the
legal.
town and say, hey, can I borrow a copy of your bridge template?
I may be able to think of one, yep,
That would be good.
yep. So Karen, the town does not have a contract of its own, is that right?
Not for that scope of work, so I sent over to Jim a sample contract that would be used for construction projects
Yep.
in-house.
Yep.
But as I stated in my email to him, it's not necessarily applicable to road maintenance or a construction project of this magnitude.
Right, so you would have to do exactly what we would have to do, and that is to make the contract compatible with the work.
Right, so I had asked Jim if there was another project similar in nature that you had already done, that he could send me a template for, that we could sort of marry the two, as
Yeah.
far as our indemnity clause, our insurance requirements, performance bonds.
Okay,
And then you
I
would
mean,
run
it's
it
really
by
just-
Primex,
it
right?
Seems just like a cut and paste, right? You're gonna, project name, scope of project,
Yeah.
insurance,
um,
and then Primex would do the final
it's
review.
not quite as simple as everyone might think. But yeah, I think you're gonna have, the town's attorney or someone is probably gonna have to look at it, maybe the insurer as well. So, it will be some effort to tool the document to the contract, or to the project, and, to get it ready for construction. And, that is, it didn't occur to me actually to point you to another town to see if they have a template you can use. But I will think about that and
Just throw
see.
it on the listserv.
Yeah.
Well, in his proposal in the back, did he list some I don't have it with me tonight, list companies that have used his service? Could you just email
Look
it
and see if there's references in the
and
back.
look?
She said she also can put it on the listserv, and
Oh,
all the town administrators will
right, right,
reply to the listserv,
right,
so
right, okay. Okay,
we'll come up with something.
Yeah, we'll work it
Okay.
out one way or the other, okay?
yeah,
The main thing though is that we do it quickly if we're gonna try to get into this construction season. And I
Now, what do we have to
apologize,
do to get it out?
But that doesn't necessarily have to.
That doesn't need
like
the
bid
contract, right?
process, Necessarily.
Can we still put it out to bid right now, or?
We can put it out to bid now, when we get better results for the bid, more accurate results if it's based on the actual contract. So there'll be things in the contract, bonding, insurance, other things that the contractor will have to weigh, and,
The cost of the
that,
bond,
what's that?
the cost of the bond.
Yeah, so, that all, will all affect the bid, and I have bid projects before that were near done but not quite there. You can do it, it's better not to, you get them, and the contractors will often, give a contingent bid, and then when they find out the details, they'll use that to,
Change orders.
yeah, so,
Well, luckily, we're meeting every week now, so.
right. Right, and Karen, I apologize, I meant to call you about this earlier, and the day got away from me. I'm in the throes of a project at home, so.
And I would like to thank the Brentwood Sportsmen for inviting the board to their cookout this weekend.
Yes, it was
Yeah, it
very
was
good,
great. It was
very
awesome.
good. It was awesome.
It was a good time, yeah, good team effort. Thank you, I'm glad.
In your proposal, when you put appendix B as sample project experience, and there are a number of bridge projects that you list here, would those be some that we could look at, or look to, or talk to? I'm specifically looking at the PEA bridge
Yeah, we
and the
prepared,
Plymouth Bridge.
I don't
I'm
remember
sure
if
you
we
can-
prepared the, contract or not for Phillips Exeter's bridge.
But they must have a contract. That's what I'm saying, is they have a contract, we may be able to piggyback off of their contract and say, okay, because it looks, you know.
The only
similar.
problem with that is it's a private
Both of those projects.
business rather than a town government.
Yeah,
Both that project and the, ours here in town, Mill Road Bridge, are going before the, let's see, it's Exeter and Swampscott River Advisory, board tonight, so, at 7 o'clock, there's a meeting. Yeah, they may have a contract, I can't recall if it's theirs or we prepared that for them. All I'm saying is for us to prepare the contract would be, some effort, so if you have one, which apparently you don't, that's fine. I can talk, I will look at our files and talk to the project manager and see if there's a town contract we've worked on recently that,
we could piggyback off.
sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Bob.
Have a good night.
You too.
Go for it. And while the chief's grabbing the new hires, will,
Good night, Carol.
to my 4 YouTube users,
Oh, I'm
reminder
sorry.
that
Sorry.
Brentwood is on Chronicle tonight in 13 minutes.
Okay.
Didn't even like cross my mind.
Nope.
I thought I'd seen it before.
No,
It is first run.
Well, ours is getting taped just in case we don't make it back in time. So
You are not gonna make it back in time. Unless
I
you
put
read
mine
now.
on record, so it would
Yeah, mine's
record.
recorded. We
Yeah,
can
it
let
was
you
before we
in.
did it. So, all right, so we need to move things around for these guys, or not?
well, I don't.
No, we should be good.
All right.
Hey, Bob.
Have a seat wherever you would like for now.
Right,
Ready to
right.
put Daphne in here.
Daphne's coming.
He's coming.
Oh. Oh, I didn't know.
Is she ready to swear at people?
Yep.
Yep.
Daphne loves swearing at people. I saw you running the other day.
Yeah,
You're out there running. You're doing good. You swear at me all the
This
time.
one too. I need the board to
Only
vote on
under
this.
my breath.
Oh, no, you actually just say it.
I need a motion to appoint Jared Wright Ward.
I make a motion. I second it.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Do you guys wanna sign this first?
Okay, actually, I'm gonna go over here. Good evening. Oh, sorry.
Put it back.
This evening, I'd like to introduce two of our latest hires for the Brentwood Police Department. We'll start with Bob McCon. I want to introduce you to the board. Bob, this is Karen, you've met Karen, our town administrator. Bill Faria, one of our select board members. Ken Christensen, Bob Mentigeri, and Phyllis Thompson, and Andy Artemovich. So Bob McCon is from Raymond. He's worked as an IT manager at Liberty Mutual for 23 years. He's been married 28 years to his wife Lori, and they have 4 children, 27, 23, 10, and 8. And Lori has homeschooled them all. The 27-year-old son graduated from UNH with a master's in accounting, Their daughter is 23 and she's a commercial pilot. Their two youngest are Haley, 10, and Sophia, 8. Bob has been a Raymond firefighter for 23 years, and also part-time police officer for Chester PD for the last 10 and a half years. So I think it's pretty evident that he has a strong desire to serve the community. When he interviewed with us, we discovered that it was very active in Chester. As far as his enforcement and working in the community. He's looking forward to helping us move the agency forward, the department forward, and enforcing the law here in Brentwood, as well as looking forward to serving the Brentwood community. And recently, he's been offered early retirement from Liberty Mutual and will be taking that here shortly. So,
Congratulations.
I'd like to welcome Bob McCon aboard.
Bob, welcome.
Without further ado, come on up here, Bob. We're gonna have Daphne, our town clerk, swear you in. Right by the flag.
Raise your right hand. I, Robert McCon,
I, Robert McCon,
do solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will faithfully and impartially
that I will faithfully and impartially
discharge and perform
discharge and perform
all the duties incumbent on me
all the duties incumbent on me
as a police officer of the Brentwood Police Department,
as a police officer of the Brentwood Police Department,
according to the best of my abilities,
according to the best of my ability,
agreeably to the rules and regulations
agreeably to the rules and regulations
of the Constitution and laws
of the Constitution and laws
of the state of New Hampshire.
of the state of New Hampshire.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you. Please go on.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Okay.
so now we're gonna have Bob's wife Lori and his badge.
This is when we really find out.
Yeah, right.
Honestly, I just wanna be charged with assaulting.
Well, then you just push it in a little further.
Do have a taser.
I wonder when he needs one of those.
Yeah, great. Now Karen wants one for a home.
How over here?
You want one for here?
If we wanna take a couple of quick pictures, actually Karen, I'll let you, can you just snap a couple?
Oh, I have to get my phone, but yeah.
No, I got it, you use mine.
Now, is this part-time, full-time,
Part-time.
had enough full-time?
Yeah, pretty much.
We'll get, I can go first, I'll go first. We gotta Photoshop these.
Okay.
Okay, now,
What about with his
do
wife?
you wanna come up and take a picture? You don't have to if you don't want to. Great, thank you.
Great.
Okay, next up. So go over to my spot here. Our next arrival, if you will, is Jared Wright Ward, who graduated from UNH, University of New Hampshire, with a Bachelor of Science in English, and then he went on to Syracuse University for a master's in architecture. He's originally from Durham, New Hampshire. He went to the Oyster River High School, and he actually was in high school with Officer Josh Turner at one point. He worked as a project manager for 3 years for a company called Procon in Hooksett. And then prior to that, he worked for an engineering firm named Wesson and Sampson out of Foxborough, Mass.
He can help me with
He
my
should do a
contract.
Bingo. Well, that was easy. And his face went instantly red, like, oh God, I just got signed up for something else. And now you're a victim of circumstance.
You're designee for the bridge.
We actually pulled Jared on board sooner than anticipated with a case that we're working right now. It's pretty substantial, and we needed a lot of help, so we pulled him out early, and he's been doing a great job with it, so we thank him for that. He's been married to his wife for 10 years. You got that right? 10 years. His wife, Susan, she works for Tufts University And they live in Brentwood, they've lived in Brentwood for the last 2 years, and they have 2 wonderful children, as you can see right here, James and Daniel. And James just started kindergarten at the Swayze School this year. So we're very happy to have Jared on board. He'll be working part-time for us until he's ready to go to the academy sometime in January for full-time. So we want to welcome him aboard, so come on up, so get you sworn in.
Raise your right hand. I, Jared Wright Ward,
I, Jared Wright Ward,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully and impartially
that I will faithfully and impartially
discharge and perform
discharge and perform
all the duties incumbent on me
all the duties incumbent on me
as a police officer of the Brentwood Police Department,
as a police officer of the Brentwood Police Department,
according to the best of my abilities,
according to the best of my abilities,
agreeably to the rules and regulations
agreeably to the rules and regulations
of the Constitution and laws
of the Constitution and laws
of the state of New Hampshire.
of the state of New
So
Hampshire.
help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Introduce you to the board, Phyllis,
Hi, nice to
Jared,
meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Bob Antigari.
Nice to see you again.
Ken Christensen, congratulations.
Thank you. Jared, I'll see you with the
Jared, could you sign right here for me real quick? Right here.
You didn't know you were gonna be writing a contract. did you?
Okay, now we'll get you ready for your
Thank you.
lovely wife and your kids to pin your badge.
Well, do you want a picture with you?
We'll do that after.
Oh, all right.
Remember, kids.
You need to give him extra needles, is that what you?
They're so cute.
Well, he hasn't jumped yet, so that's a good thing.
He's wearing his vest.
He pointed that out to me also.
All right, thank you.
Okay, so
Should
picture
get
first,
pictures.
and then
Picture?
definitely need Photoshop.
Just in case.
And then we can get your lovely family in there for a picture and then
Thank you, guys.
You can take those off.
There you go.
Oh, you tell they're part of the same family. Don't look anything like you there.
Well, thank you for coming, really appreciate it.
Thanks again.
Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it.
luck.
Good luck.
Good luck.
We'll see you guys out there on the road.
I just asked you when it was.
Well, they know your Jeep, we should tell them what car we drive.
Yeah, unfortunately, everyone can see me coming.
Yeah.
Jared's gonna be doing a lot of projects.
Liz, do you have anything for us?
I do not.
Great.
I know you're amazed, but it's.
With that, I will close the public
Well,
session.
I have something,
I'm not done.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
I have something.
We have to announce the pay rate too.
yeah.
What are we doing first?
Well, since we were just here, Bob McCon was hired at $22 an hour, and Jared Wright was hired at $20 an hour. What do you got?
I have Regan Elliott, an appointment slip as an alternate member of the ZBA for 3 years.
Take a
I'll
motion.
make a
Motion, second.
Any discussion?
Is
All in
she
favor?
ZBA or planning board? I'm sorry, I was.
ZBA.
ZBA.
Oh, she is ZBA, okay. I was just told the wrong thing.
You sent both.
No, I only signed one.
I only signed one. I
Robin
didn't-
I only
Wrighton.
signed one.
There's only one. We already signed Bob's.
Yep.
Okay.
Robin Wrighton as an inspector of elections for 2 years.
Motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Anybody opposed?
And then I just have some housekeeping, reappointing Josh Turner, Daniel Wicks, Bob Gagnon, and Kevin Nealand
Motion?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Andy, can we have a question? What reappointing them as what?
Police officers.
They have to be reappointed?
Well, when they're initially hired, they're appointed for just the 1 year.
Oh,
Way back in the day, part-time was appointed every year, so.
Yeah, I used to do them every year.
I don't know, according to what
so
you
are
told me,
these
there's some
part-time,
elected
these are
chiefs too,
full-time,
right?
right?
It's
Huh?
a mix. Neeland and Witzer full and Turner and Gagnon are
So
part-time.
you have to do it every year?
No,
Oh, sorry.
this is their probationary period's up,
Oh, okay.
so now they're permanent.
Last week, the board voted as, for a vote of no confidence in the SU administration. I emailed out a copy of the letter, and that is the letter to be signed to the board.
Oh, I
For
read
the
it. It was
record, I'd
very-
like to
was very
make the
good,
announcement
Karen.
that
Thank you.
I've spoken to a few people and I've changed my mind and I will support your motion.
Okay, so now we
So
have,
it's unanimous?
No, it's full one.
4-1.
4-1.
Well, that should have been amended on the minutes if you,
I'll tell you what,
Well,
I
no,
just
it's
did
not,
that.
it wasn't prior, it's, he's
Oh.
changing,
oh, okay.
I'll make a motion that we sign the letter
no.
for the thing.
The
Don't we have to
people
do it?
that wanna sign the letter can sign the letter, it was, you don't need a motion to sign
Oh, I
the
thought
letter,
we
you
had
already
to
made
sign
a
it.
motion to.
I thought we reviewed it,
Get it
didn't we?
over there.
Review it and agree
Let's
it?
hurry up and
Well,
deliver.
did you read it? It was on,
I read it.
oh, yeah.
Shared it with me.
Get it delivered.
Is it public? Like,
It will be.
can you read
Yeah.
them at?
Yeah,
Not tonight.
Not
Okay.
tonight. We'll share it with you, Mrs. Swear.
Okay.
Oh, this,
Now
is
it's
this the
been
letter?
signed.
yep, that's the letter, just signing it.
I've got one, oh, are you ready?
Yep.
I've got one price for gas and diesel at 24 cents over rack from Hartman. For oil, I have 188 per gallon from Hartman, and 178 was the price per gallon through Suburban for oil. For propane, I have 123 from Hartman and
Why don't we do one
129
at a time?
from Suburban.
Cause you just threw out a lot of numbers that nobody understood.
I think Hartman has my vote for both of them.
I think-
Well,
I
actually,
think
Suburban was
has
cheaper
my
on the
vote
oil.
for oil, and.
A little bit.
I mean, it's 10 cents a
How
gallon.
much propane do we?
Well, let's start with one product at a time,
Let's
So
do
gas
oil.
and diesel, 24 cents over rack through Hartman,
which is the only
which
bit.
is the only bid, and that is who we have used for the last several years.
What are we currently at?
That is the same.
I'll make
So,
the motion.
I'll second it.
Motion and second to award the contract till when?
It's just one heating season.
1 year for gas and diesel to Hartman Oil.
Okay.
Yeah,
Motion and second, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye,
Anybody opposed?
what was it was 20 over rack?
24.
24 cents.
24 over rack.
And rack is just their
Whatever the
cost.
price of the day is.
Yeah.
And then we had another one
For
for,
home heating oil, or
Oil.
heating oil.
So it was 188
for Hartman, 178 for
Nope.
Suburban?
and 178 through Suburban, yes. So assuming nothing has changed with Suburban, that is the
Suburban
price.
gets
we're
I
doing.
make a motion for Suburban.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And then
Propane?
for propane, I have 123 from Hartman and 129 through Suburban.
Motion for Hartman.
So
Second.
before we do that, there may be expenses incurred by switching propane because
Is it in the
Tanks.
contract?
Who
Oh, it's
owns the tanks?
it's
that's right.
tanks.
We don't own the tanks.
We
so
don't
there
own
may
the
be a pu-
tanks?
There may be a
Who
pump
do-
out
who do we
and,
have it with now?
distribution.
Suburban.
There will be a price unless they,
So you might as well go with,
So-
stay with them because.
So I'm not sure if the 6 cents is worth all of the,
How many gallons a year do we
about
use?
12,000.
So 12,000 times 6
I would then
cents.
remove my motion and go the other way.
Oh, wait a minute,
oh,
let me
wait a
just,
minute, so we're talking the big tanks, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that would cost us.
That would cost,
What did it cost us when we left Amerigas?
that's only $720.
$720 to remove the tank?
No,
$720 difference
Yeah,
between the
no,
two.
let's just go with who we have.
So,
That would cost us more.
motion to stay with Suburban,
I believe I made that motion.
I think you did.
second it.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
We have a lot of money to spend, so let's hurry up.
And I sent out an email last week just informing the board about the highway truck.
Yes.
It was about a $12,000 repair, plus it would need to be calibrated at Liberty.
How old is that truck?
I believe he said it was a 2005.
How much was it, 12?
I didn't think we had anything that old, but.
Yeah,
12 grand,
he calls that number two.
but
That is
they're
number two, yeah.
$200,000 trucks, so.
Yeah.
We're gonna need it though for, yeah. What are you gonna do?
Gotta do what you gotta do.
And the good thing is we got good drivers. Did,
And it's in the budget.
Yes, he does have the money in his budget.
does everyone have CDL over there now too?
Caden's still working on it, but
Not yet.
he will.
Pretty soon.
Soon.
Who resigned from the fire department?
Stephanie. Lazat
Announce a resignation from the fire department. Stephanie Lazat-Croto resigned her on-call position as she took a full-time position with Hooksett.
Yeah.
And is concentrating on making her probationary period. Good luck to her, and I thank her for her service.
And I
Was there something else in there we needed to talk about?
Non-public.
non-public.
Phyllis?
The Historical Society would like to use the town office for its annual meeting, which is on November 16th. It's a Sunday at 3 PM, because they figure they'll have like 30 people, and we don't want to, there's not enough room in the Historical Society.
When is it?
November 16th. It's a Sunday.
I think the BRC.
I would approve, I would better use the BRC. Just,
Oh,
Social distancing.
yeah. 30 people in either
Yours
room
is a
is
lot.
kinda,
well, they.
for a meeting.
I don't know if we'd have that many, but that would be the most, so.
Can you just check with Andy if it's,
November 16th is a Monday. Unless this isn't the right.
November, it's a Sunday, so what's the Sunday day?
November
The 15th.
15th?
Oh, I wrote, whatever Sunday it is there.
I'll make a motion as long as it's not rented to.
Second.
Any discussion?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And that's at no charge.
Make a motion to go into non-public in accordance with 91A, 3II, A, B, C, D, E, and I.
Second.
For hiring, employee.
I have a motion, a second. Show of hands.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? We won't be coming back from non-public session, so have a good evening. Everybody should be watching Chronicle by now anyways.
I missed that part. What are we
Ward,
on this?
Ward's got a thing on.
Ward's daughter Ella
Yeah.
is being featured on
I put mine
Chronicle.
on